Did you know that much of what makes us human was forged in the crucible of a global winter? The story of our species is deeply intertwined with the challenges and opportunities presented by the Ice Age, a time when the world was locked in a deep freeze, and survival was anything but guaranteed. The Ice Age is often seen as a time of hardship, but it was also an incredible catalyst for human development. The endless cold and scarcity of resources pushed our ancestors to their limits, forcing them to adapt in ways that would shape the very core of humanity. The relentless cold forced our ancestors to become more intelligent, cooperative, and innovative. They learned to depend on each other, forging bonds that would become the foundation of complex societies. Survival meant inventing new tools, building social structures, and adapting in ways that define us even now. The need to stay warm and fed led to the creation of clothing, shelters, and new hunting strategies. Imagine small bands of early humans facing shrinking forests, new predators, and a world growing colder each generation. Every day was a test of resilience and ingenuity as the environment became more unpredictable and dangerous. They didn't just endure, they evolved, learning to solve complex problems and rely on each other. Cooperation became essential, and those who could work together thrived where others failed. The Ice Age rewarded ingenuity, communication, and teamwork. The ability to share knowledge, plan hunts, and care for the vulnerable became the difference between life and death. Those who could create better tools and hunt in groups survived and passed on their genes. Over generations, these skills became embedded in our DNA, shaping the way we think and interact even today. This was a dynamic process of invention and cultural evolution, not just waiting for the ice to melt. Our ancestors experimented, failed, and tried again, constantly pushing the boundaries of what was possible. Our ancestors were pioneers and inventors, harnessing fire, tailoring clothing, and crossing continents. They braved unknown lands, following herds and searching for new opportunities, always adapting to the changing world. The Ice Age was their defining moment, its legacy written in our DNA and civilization. The art, language, and technology we cherish today all have roots in those ancient struggles. It was the long, cold winter that ultimately gave birth to the world we know, a world shaped by the courage, creativity, and determination of those who came before us. The Ice Age refers to the Pleistocene epoch, which began about 2.6 million years ago and ended just 11,700 years ago. It wasn't one endless freeze, but a cycle of cold glacials and warmer interglacials. During glacials, massive ice sheets covered much of the continents, lowering sea levels and reshaping the land. Interglacials, like the one we live in now, brought warmer climates and retreating ice. These cycles were driven by changes in Earth's orbit, called Milankovitch cycles. At the last glacial maximum, ice sheets covered much of North America and Europe, and sea levels dropped by up to 400 feet. Land bridges like Beringia connected continents, enabling migration. Adapting to these constant changes drove the evolution of our flexible, creative minds. The great ice sheets of the glacial periods were forces of unimaginable power, reshaping the very face of the planet over thousands of years. These vast rivers of ice advanced and retreated, sculpting the land beneath them in dramatic ways. Their immense weight pressed down on the continents, causing the land to sink and deform. As the glaciers moved, they carved out deep valleys, gouged out basins, and left behind moraines, ridges of rocky debris, and countless lakes that still dot the landscape today. The world grew colder and drier, lush rainforests shrank back while deserts expanded across continents. Powerful winds swept across the open plains, carrying fine, fertile loess and depositing it far from its source, creating new layers of soil and transforming entire regions. These dramatic changes in climate and landscape laid the foundation for the rich soils that nourish today's farmlands, making them some of the most productive on Earth. The Ice Age was home to a remarkable array of Pleistocene megafauna, mammoths, giant bison, and saber-toothed cats, each uniquely adapted to survive the harsh, frigid conditions. These animals roamed vast, icy steppes, shaping the ecosystems around them. For early humans, these giant creatures were both formidable threats and invaluable resources. A single mammoth could provide food, tools, and shelter for an entire group, sustaining them for weeks and even influencing their social structures and survival strategies. As glaciers locked up vast amounts of water, sea levels dropped, exposing new lands and land bridges. such as Beringia between Asia and North America, and Doggerland connecting Britain to Europe. These now submerged regions became vital migration routes, opening pathways for humans and animals to spread across continents, shaping the patterns of life and settlement for generations to come. The Ice Age landscape was a world in constant flux, with glaciers advancing and retreating, rivers changing course and ecosystems shifting. Survival demanded constant adaptation and ingenuity. Our ancestors learned to navigate these ever-changing environments, developing new tools, strategies, and ways of life to thrive in the face of relentless change. The legacy of these ancient migrations and adaptations is still visible in our world today, in the shape of our landscapes, the richness of our soils, and the echoes of ancient journeys etched into the land. The Ice Age shaped not just the land, but the very course of human history, leaving a lasting imprint on our planet and our species that endures to this day. As humans ventured into colder and more unforgiving regions of the world, the need for protection from the elements became a matter of life and death. Tailored clothing was not just a convenience, it became absolutely essential for survival, allowing our ancestors to endure environments that would otherwise have been impossible to inhabit. In the beginning, early humans relied on simple animal hides draped over their bodies. These basic coverings offered some relief from the cold, but they were often bulky, heavy, and left gaps that let in freezing air. Against the harsh winds and biting temperatures, these makeshift garments were far from perfect. The real breakthrough came with the invention of the eyed needle. This small but revolutionary tool allowed people to pierce hides and sew them together, creating fitted garments that hugged the body and kept warmth in. Suddenly, clothing could be shaped and layered, offering far better protection than ever before. With this innovation, humans could craft trousers, parkas, mittens, and boots, layered clothing that trapped precious body heat. These garments were not only practical, but also adaptable, allowing people to adjust their outfits for different climates and activities. Over time, people learned to select different animal furs for specific purposes, some for warmth, others for water resistance or durability. Clothing became a science of survival, with each piece carefully chosen and crafted to meet the challenges of the environment. Archaeological discoveries of bone needles, some dating back at least 40,000 years, revealed just how long humans have been perfecting the art of making clothes. These ancient tools are a testament to our ingenuity and adaptability. Tailored clothing became like a portable shelter, wrapping the body in layers of warmth and protection. This allowed humans to hunt, gather, and travel even in the most brutal winters, turning the cold from a deadly threat into a challenge that could be overcome. The technology of clothing opened up vast northern continents for permanent settlement. It enabled our ancestors to migrate, explore, and thrive in places where no other primate could survive. Without this innovation, human expansion would have stalled at the edge of the frozen world, unable to cross the icy barriers that separated us from new lands and opportunities. Clothing was more than just a tool. It was a key that unlocked the coldest, most inhospitable parts of the planet, giving us access to resources and new ways of life. This simple innovation had a profound impact on our species, shaping not only how we survived, but also how we adapted, explored, and ultimately thrived in every corner of the globe. The ability to make warm, protective clothing changed the course of human history, marking a turning point in our journey from vulnerable creatures to masters of our environment. Fire was the communal heart of Ice Age survival. It provided warmth, safety from predators, and a center for social life. Fire extended the day, allowing work and storytelling after sunset. Cooking food made it safer and more nutritious, fueling the growth of our brains. Fire hardened spear tips, improved hunting, and lit the way into caves. Mastering fire required skill, finding fuel, starting and maintaining flames in harsh conditions. This knowledge was passed down through generations, becoming a core part of human culture. Fire transformed the night from a time of danger to one of safety and connection. It was more than a tool. It was a companion that made life in the frozen world possible. The mastery of fire was a turning point in human evolution. It brought people together and helped them thrive in the coldest climates. The Ice Age drove a revolution in toolmaking. Early stone tools were simple, but Homo sapiens developed specialized, efficient blades. Blade technology allowed more cutting edges from a single stone, reflecting advanced planning and abstract thought. Humans mastered bone, antler, and ivory, crafting needles, spear throwers, and harpoons. The atlatl, a spear thrower, let hunters strike from a safe distance, revolutionizing hunting. Tools like burins and awls enabled engraving, carving, and leatherworking. Each tool was designed for a specific task, showing deep understanding of materials and challenges. This explosion of technology highlights the creative, problem-solving mind of modern humans. The demands of the Ice Age honed our ingenuity and adaptability. Our ancestors' toolkit was a testament to their survival skills. Innovation in stone and bone set the stage for future human progress. The Ice Age was the era of great human migration. Lower sea levels created land bridges, allowing small bands to walk into new worlds. The most famous migration was into the Americas via Beringia, a vast grassland connecting Siberia and Alaska. As ice sheets melted, humans spread rapidly across 2 continents. Reaching Australia required early sea voyages, showing remarkable planning and courage. Migration meant constant adaptation, new tools, hunting strategies, and social networks. Maintaining connections with distant groups was vital for survival. These journeys shaped the diversity and resilience of our species. Migration was not just physical but social and cultural, forging the cooperative nature of humanity. The Ice Age sparked a revolution in human consciousness. Art, symbolism, and likely complex language. Deep cave paintings of animals show skill and symbolic thought, possibly linked to rituals or storytelling. Personal ornaments and figurines like the Venus statuettes reveal a sense of identity and social connection. These objects traveled great distances, indicating trade and communication. The explosion of symbolic behavior suggests the rise of complex language. Organizing hunts, teaching skills, and sharing stories required sophisticated communication. The Ice Age was when we began to interpret and share our world, creating a shared culture. Art and language became the glue that held early societies together. The Ice Age was humanity's ultimate test, and our greatest triumph. It forged our adaptability, innovation, and cooperation. Our ancestors thrived by making clothes, mastering fire, and inventing new tools as their world changed. Cultural solutions, not just biology, became our survival strategy. The need to hunt, defend, and share resources made us deeply social and cooperative. Language and culture held our societies together. Today, the echoes of the Ice Age are in our technologies, our societies, and our creativity. The story of survival is a reminder of human resilience and innovation. We are the descendants of the ultimate team players. The Ice Age shaped who we are, and its legacy lives on in us all. Stay curious, there are countless more stories waiting to be told.